बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये टॉफल सीरीज़ फॉर द बिगिनर्स का लेसन है। आज हम इसमें रिडंडेंसी के टॉपिक को इन डेप्थ स्टडी करेंगे। सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू लेट्स स्टार्ट द लेसन। ओके, अ सेंटेंस इन विच सम इंफॉर्मेशन इज अननेसेसरली रिपीटेड इज एक्चुअली कॉल्ड रिडंडेंट। इसको हम रिडंडेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन भी कहते हैं और इस फिनोमेना को रिडंडेंसी कहते हैं। जब आप एक ही बात को बार बार इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहे हो इस सेंटेंस के अंदर, तो दैट इज एन extra information. It's not an extra information, it's just a repetition, so it's not really good in taste. Given here are some of the words combinations that are always redundant and thus never should be used together. So we have a good list of words जिनके meanings are same हैं, so उनको बार बार लिखने से we just wasting the space actually and it's not getting us anywhere, so we should avoid this. So let's dive into those list of words. Starting off with advance over forward, both means the same, so you either write advance or forward. इसी तरीके से proceed forward means the same, progress forward, this all means the same, so either use the advance, proceed or progress, or use the forward itself. Don't write them together. इसी तरीके से return back means the same, you are always return backwards, so it has nothing to do with writing the two words together. Similarly, revert back is the same, so use either of the one. So either of the two actually. Sufficient enough, sufficient means also enough, so either you write sufficient or you write enough. Furthermore, compete together, compete and together always the same, means the same, you're competing with together, so there is no right to write these two words next to each other. Then comes join together. This is again, you either write join or together, don't write them alongside. Repeat, again, you repeat means the same as again, so you don't need to have them next to each other. New innovations, innovations are always new, so it's needless to write the word new. Matinee performance, and the matinee is actually the performance done at the afternoon time, so matinee itself means performance, so don't write the word performance with the word matinee. Reason and because, don't write them next to each other because they both means the same. Same, identical are always same, so it's needless to write the word same with identical. Two twins, wrong, because twins are always two, so it's needless to write the word two extra with twins. The time when, so the time when should not be write together because they all means both are used to indicate the same thing, one or the other should be used, so either use the time or the word when. The place where, so the place where is always used to refer to a place, so don't write the word the place and the where together, it's needless, don't use them together. Now we'll understand the whole concept with answers, with the correct sentences. So the army advanced after the big battle, the army advanced after the big battle, or the army moved forward after the big battle. So आपने इसको move forward कर दिया, आपने advance को replace कर दिया, but don't write advance forward because that means the same. इसी तरीके से the peace talks advanced or the peace talks progressed, both means the same, you don't need to write the two words together, just write one word. The two words with the same information are redundant, don't write them. Few more examples, we have sufficient money to buy the new dress, right? Or they have enough time to eat a sandwich before going to work. Enough or sufficient means the same, so आप इनको साथ नहीं लिखें, write them separately. The teacher proceeded to explain the lesson. John and his brother are competing in the running games. Competing together is not, it's just competing here. The teacher asked us to join the students who were cleaning the room. We are not writing join together the students, it's just join the students. Similarly, Mary repeated the question slowly so that Jim would understand. Repeated again, it's just repeat, it just makes the sense. Besides the two evening showings, there will also be a matinee. So you just write matinee, you don't need to write a performance or anything such things. The reason I want to take that class in that is that the professor is supposed to be very eloquent. You just mention the reason because, don't write the because and all these things. That is where I left him. This is where I left him, it means you are referring to a place, you just write the word where here. This was the time I hit a home run, right? So just write the word the time, you don't need to mention the word when here because it means the same. So this is about the redundancy or the redundant. What are the words that you should have the same meaning, so don't make them put them together. So अब हम एक एक्सरसाइज करेंगे. ये 20 क्वेश्चंस की एक एक्सरसाइज है जिसमें आपके पास redundant words मौजूद हैं. You just have to cross out those redundant words जो आपकी additional information नहीं है, it's just an excessive information, as in they are repetitions. So the 5 questions on your screen right now. Just pause your video here, find out the redundant words and cross them out. 5 more questions here. Again, pause your video here and cross out those redundant words, and then we will proceed to the answers. So for those who are done with the questions by now, we can start the answers now. First sentence, after Jill had shown Tim how to insert the paper once, she repeated the operation again. हमने repeat लिख दिया है, so there is no reason to write the word again, so cross this out. Question 2. The twins have the same identical birthmarks on their backs. Same and identical are the same, and no difference. So repeat, just cross out the one. We crossed out the identical here. I think we have sufficient enough information to write the report. Sufficient means the same, so just cross out the word enough here. Question 4. When the roads became too slippery, we decided to return back to the cabin and wait for the storm to subside. You're returning backwards anyway, so to cross out the word back here. It's a redundant information. Question 5. Nobody could get out of work early enough to attend the matinee performance. Now matinee is the same as performance, so just remove out the word performance here. It's just additional added redundant word. Now question 6. The mountain climbers proceeded forward on their long track up to the side of the mountain. Again, proceed is the forward direction, so remove cross out the word forward. Question 7. The Rita and her sister competed together in the musical talent show. It's about the competition of the two people, so forget about the right together because it's about the two anyways. So it's a redundant word, just cross out the word together. Question 8. I think that we should come up with a new innovation for doing the job. Now it's about innovation. Innovation has to be new anyway, so cross out the word new here. Question 9. The minister joined the bride and the groom together in the holy wedlock. Again, it's about the bride and groom together, so we are joined already, so joined means the same as together, so cross out the together or any of the two. And last question, my cousins love to play with the two twins from across the street. Two twins are always two, so remove this redundant word which is two here, so cross it out. Okay, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. ये लेसन है फ्रॉम द टोफल सीरीज फॉर द बिगनर्स. आज हम इसे पैरल स्ट्रक्चर को इन डेप्थ स्टडी करेंगे. So without further ado, let's start the lesson. When information in a sentence is given in the form of a list or a series, all components must be grammatically parallel or equal. अगर आप multiple information या list of series दे रहे हैं information की in a sentence, then make sure that all the told या spoken components must be grammatically parallel or equal. There may be only two components or there may be many components regardless in a list. However, if the first is, for example, an infinitive, the rest must also be infinitive. So important thing to notice is अगर आपके पास जो first list आपकी list के जो first component है आपने उसको infinitive form में दिया है, then you have to make sure the rest of the components should follow the first one as being infinitive. For example, consider the following correct and incorrect sentences. How does it actually sound? If the sentence is not parallel, then how does it seem like? Peter is rich, handsome, and many people like him. So the Peter is rich is adjective, handsome is adjective, and many people like him is a clause. So it doesn't get along well. It's a non-parallel structure. To make it parallel, make all them either adjective because making them all adjective because the first is adjective. Peter is rich, Peter is handsome and popular. So the last clause, convert this to an adjective because all the components listed in the sentence should be aligned with the first one, which is adjective here. Remember that a clause is standing alone sentence would be a complete sentence, meaning it has its own subject and a verb. Again, ये मैं बार-बार आपको हर lesson में जहाँ भी clause का topic आता है या word आता है, just to reinforce, to remind you these concepts कि clause क्या है, gerund क्या है, infinitive forms क्या, and all these details. So when you know by now कि जब आपके पास एक list components mention है in a series, तो आपके पास जो उनकी nature है, it should be aligned well with the first one. Here it was adjective, so the rest of the one all were adjective. Another example, not parallel. Nancy is a lawyer, noun. Politician, a noun, and he teaches, which is a clause, because having a subject and a verb. So it doesn't get along well because it's not parallel structure. So make them all correct. The parallel में सब noun होंगे because the first one is noun. Nancy is a lawyer, a politician, and a teacher. So you make sure the parallel structure should have all aligned structures. Another example. The soldiers approached the enemy camp slowly and silent. So slowly is your adverb and followed by an adjective which is silent, which is wrong. To make them all parallel, the soldiers approached the enemy camp slowly and silently. So slowly is adverb and silently is adverb. Another example, not parallel. She likes to fish, swim, and surfing. To fish is infinitive, swim is simple form, and surfing is a gerund form of verb. So this is a completely not parallel structure. To make it parallel, she likes to fish because it's infinitive, to swim infinitive, and to surf infinitive. Or parallel structure means like to have them all in one frame. She likes fishing, swimming, and surfing, all in the gerund form. So all the listing components should be in one form. Another example for the clarity. When teenagers finish high school, they have several choices. Going to college, which is a verb noun, getting a job, which is again verb noun, or the army, this is a noun. So this does not make sense, so they should all be aligned. When teenagers finish high school, they have several choices. Going to college, which is noun, verb noun, getting a job, which is verb noun, and then joining the army, which is a verb noun. So that's how you make this not parallel structure a parallel. Another one, Enrique entered the room, sat down, and is opening his book. So entered the room is a past, sat down is a past, and is opening the book. His book is a present progressive, which does not make sense. It's all not parallel. To make it parallel, Enrique entered the room, past, sat down, past tense, and opened the book. Opened his book, again the past tense. Important note is that if the sentence indicates that the different clauses definitely happen or will happen at different times, then this rule does not really need to be followed. इससे पहले हम अपनी टॉपिक सीरीज में सीक्वेंस ऑफ टेंसेस को स्टडी कर चुके हैं कि अगर आपके पास मेन क्लॉज में प्रेजेंट या पास्ट है तो डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज के में किस टेंस से क्या मतलब होगा. सो इन दैट केस ये पैरेलल स्ट्रक्चर रूल वहाँ एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता, बिकॉज आपने ये इन्फॉर्म करना है कि क्या डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज का इवेंट पहले हुआ है या आपका मेन क्लॉज का इवेंट पहले हुआ है. सो दैट पैरेलल स्ट्रक्चर रूल रियली डोंट फॉलो देयर. बट फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम इसकी एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं. शी इज़ अ सीनियर, studies every day and will graduate a semester early. So here it shows that she's in present time, she's a senior, she's studying right now and she will graduate in the semester early. So in that case they are two present with the future combined. So this is about the sequence of tenses. It has nothing to do with parallel structure. So in that case आपको भी you should be mindful about कि आपने sequence of events को follow करना है. So this is all about the parallel structure. If you understand the whole concept तो इसकी further reinforce करने के लिए हम एक exercise को through करेंगे. It's an exercise of 10 questions जिसमें आपको चेंज करना है फॉलोइंग सेंटेंसेस को and make them the parallel structure so that they are parallel. You have to make according adjustments. So these are the 5 questions on your screen right now. Just pause your video and get all the answers done. If you are done by now, we can switch on to the other 5 questions. So just again pause your video and make them correct the right, change the final following sentences to the parallel structure correctly. And once you are done with, then we will jump in directly to the answers. So for those who are done with answers by now, you can start the answers. So here's the answers. First questions, the puppy stood up slowly, wagged his tail, blinking its eyes and barked. So again इसमें आपके पास जो sequence of events हैं, this is again past, this is make a continuous tense, and here it's the past again. So we need to work on this middle one. The puppy stood up slow, wagged tail, blinked his eyes and barked. So that's how we all made it past tense. Second question, ecologists are trying to preserve our environment for future generations by protecting the ozone layer, it's continuous, purifying the air, continuous verb, and have replanted the trees, this is present perfect, that have been cut down. So we need to align them with the continuous present tense. So ecologists are trying to preserve our environment for future generations by protecting the ozone layer, purifying the air, and replanting the trees. Here it was the present perfect, so we made it to continuous tense that have been cut down. So you need to make them all aligned with the present continuous. Question 3 is the chief police demanded from his assistants an orderly investigation. It's an adjective noun. A well-written report, an adjective noun. And here come that they work hard. This is all a lot of sentence. So we need to convert this into adjective noun. The chief of police The chief of police is demanded from his assistants an orderly investigation, a well-written report, and hard work. Here we have adjective and noun. Question 4 is Marcia as a scholar, an athlete, and artistic. Here we have two nouns with one adjective, which does not make sense. So we need to make them all noun. So Marcia is a scholar, is an athlete, and an artist. Here comes question 5. Slowly and with care, the museum director removed the mint vase from the shelf and placed it on the display pedestal. So we need to make them, here we have the slowly adverb and it's with the verb actually. So we need to convert it into adverb. Slowly and carefully, the museum director removed the mint vase from the shelf and place it on the display pedestal, which is again the two adverbs make sense. Now it's a parallel structure. Now question 6. The farmer plows the field, present tense, plants the seeds, present, simple present, and will harvest the crop, and this is future. So we have to make the parallel structure. So the farmer plows the field, present, plants the seeds, present, and harvests the crop. Again, these are all present tense verbs. Here comes the question 7. Children love playing in the mud. This is present tense, continuous. Running through puddles. This is present continuous. And they get very dirty. This is simple present, which does not make sense. We have to line them all with the continuous verb forms. So children love playing in the mud, running through the puddles, and they're getting very dirty. So that's how we make them all parallel structures. Question 8. Abraham Lincoln was a good president and was self-educated and hardworking and always told the truth. So we have to make them all adjectives because we started off with adjectives and end up with a whole lot of sentence. So Abraham Lincoln was a good president and was self-educated and hardworking and honest. So that always told the truth, we have to convert this to an adjective rather. Here comes to question 9. Collecting stamps, playing chess, and to mount beautiful butterflies are Derek's hobbies. So starting off with the continuous, then following continuous verb, and we end up with infinitive. So we have to convert this to a continuous form, which is ing, gerund form. Collecting stamps, playing chess, and mounting beautiful butterflies are Derek's hobbies. This is all verb ing with the noun. Now final question of an exercise. Despite America's affluence, many people are without job, on welfare, and have a lot of debts. So these are all prepositional phrases followed by this lot of sentence, the whole clause. So we have to make it parallel. Despite America's affluence, many people are without jobs, on welfare, and in debt. So we, instead of a lot of debt, we make it a prepositional phrase. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये टोफल सीरीज़ फॉर द बिगिनर का लेसन है। आज हम इसमें ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन देखेंगे डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स की पर्टेनिंग विद रिस्पेक्ट टू डिफरेंट वर्ब्स। सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू लेट्स स्टार्ट द लेसन। Now what is the transformation? There are always two ways of writing the objects of many verbs without changing the meaning of the sentence. बहुत सारे verbs ऐसे हैं जो कि flexible होते हैं in order to adjust the your object positions, and yet in either case आपके पास जो sentence की meaning है, जो उसका gist है, वो alter नहीं होता। अब हम देख लेते हैं वो कौन से दो तरीक़े हैं जिसके ज़रिए आप objects को interchange कर सकते हैं। पहला तरीक़ा ये होता है कि आपका जो indirect object है आप उसको direct के बाद लिखते हैं और ऐसे में उसको किसी preposition के साथ sandwich करते हैं. You just have some preposition right before your indirect object if you are intended to place your indirect object right after your direct one. So I hope just pause your video and make a note of this कि direct के बाद अगर आप indirect object mention कर रहे हैं तो ऐसे में आप उसको preposition से proceed करेंगे. There must be preposition right before your indirect object. दूसरा तरीका however ये है कि आपके पास indirect object direct object से पहले मौजूद हो, और in that case you have no worry of carrying any preposition regardless. So ऐसे में आपको preposition place नहीं करेंगे, you don't need one. It's just that the indirect object comes right before your direct object. So these are the two ways जब आप object transformation करते हैं of any of your verb, and that how you in either cases जब आपकी object की position वो alter भी होती है तो आपकी जो sentence की meaning है वो kill नहीं होती. Now here comes the prepositions that we just talk about कि वो कौन से prepositions हैं that are likely to precede your indirect object. These two prepositions are for and to. The two prepositions that you use in such cases of object transformation are for and to. I hope this much is clear so far. अब हम proceed करते हैं further कि आपका indirect object क्या है और direct object क्या है. Now indirect object is the one which is animate object, and animate object is the one who is living being. I hope this makes sense. Now it's not just animate object, it's also the one for whom and to whom something is done. आपका indirect object एक तो ये है कि पहली कंडीशन ये है कि वो एनिमेट होगा यानी कि समवन लिविंग, एंड दूसरी कंडीशन ये है कि वो उसके लिए कोई काम परफॉर्म हो रहा होगा. द एक्शन, ही इज़ द वन हु इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल, who gets the action, for whom the action is being carried out, who receives an action to be precise, right? So that is supposedly an indirect object. On the flip, आपका जो direct object है, that can either be a person or a thing. It has no compulsion of one particular kind. It can be a human or it can be a thing. And the second condition is that he's the first one who receives an action. The direct object is the one who is the first one who receives an action. इसको हम further clear करते हैं with an example. I gave the book to Dan. So in that case, आपका जो direct object है, that is the book. And by now we know that direct object is the one which can be a person or a thing. So here we have a thing. And second, he is the one who first receives an action. So the book is here, is an object because is a direct object because it's the one who first action was received by it, because the first action was the book was taking in my hand. Taking of the book in my hand is the first action. So this is the direct object. सेकेंड कंडीशन इज आपका इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, चूंकि ये डायरेक्ट के बाद आ रहा है तो ऐसे में आपके पास देयर हैज टू बी preposition बिफोर योर ऑब्जेक्ट, सो देयर वी हैव टू. सेकेंड ये है कि इट हैज़ टू बी एनिमेट. यस, डैन इज एनिमेट, ही इज़ अ ह्यूमन, ही इज़ अ लिविंग बीइंग. एंड थर्ड ये है कि इट इज़ अ वन फॉर whom action is done. And the second action is the indirect one because this action was given to, the book was given to Dan. So Dan is the one who receives, who actually get this action of getting the book. So that's how you should know the animate object, the direct object and indirect object, and be watchful about कि आपने preposition को कैसे place करना है in case आपका indirect object direct के बाद place हो रहा है. Now, it's not every verb is very flexible of having such object transformation. आप हर verb के साथ इस तरीके की object transformation alter करके आप अपनी सेंटेंस की मीनिंग को स्टैटिक नहीं कर सकते. सो देयर आर सर्टन वर्ब्स जो आपको अलाउ करते हैं कि आप उनकी ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करें, यानी कि डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्ट की पोजीशंस को ऑल्टर करें, एंड येट सेंटेंस स्टिल मेक द सेंस. सो फर्स्ट वी लुक एट दोज लिस्ट ऑफ वर्ब्स जो कि फ्लेक्सिबल हैं इनफ कि उनकी ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की जा सकती है. आई विल कॉल आउट ईच वन ऑफ देम. रादर वुड सजेस्ट कि आप अपनी वीडियो पॉज करके इसकी लिस्ट को भी नोट डाउन कर लें. सो हियर वी लुक एट द लिस्ट ऑफ वर्ब्स हु आर कंफर्टेबल फॉर द ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. Starting off with bring, build, buy, cut, draw, feed, find, get, give, hand, leave, lend, make, offer, owe, paint, pass, pay, promise, read, sell, send, show, teach, tell and write. These are the list of verbs that we are mindful about कि इनमें इतनी flexibility है कि आप इसमें object transformation कर सकते हैं. And what is object transformation? You can place either direct object or indirect object, either ways, but you have to be watchful about कि आपने उसमें grammar का किस तरीके से ख्याल रखना है. One important more thing is some of these verbs can be followed by either the prepositions of for or to. राइट कुछ आप इनमें वर्ब्स ऐसे हैं जिनको आप फॉर के साथ भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं और टू के साथ भी आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं, वाइल अदर्स मस्ट बी फॉलोड बाय वन और द अदर. कुछ के साथ आप फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी के साथ फॉर भी कर सकते हैं और टू भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं, बट देयर आर सम जिनके साथ आप किसी एक को ही प्रिसाइसली स्पेसिफिकली यूज़ कर सकते हैं. नाउ द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एग्जैक्टली मीन्स द सेम एज अ सेंटेंस विद द ओरिजिनल प्रोपोजिशंस. वन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग अगैन कि जब आप ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कर रहे हैं तो उससे आपको माइंडफुल होना चाहिए कि आप सेंटेंस की मीनिंग को नहीं ऑल्टर कर रहे. इट्स जस्ट द ग्रामर tricks you are applying, but there is no change in the meaning of the sentence whatsoever. So you should be mindful about कि आप इन object transformation के नतीजे में अपनी जो sentence की meaning को से change नहीं करें. It's just you are opting another way of writing the sentence. अब हम कुछ इसके sentence construction formula rule देख लेते हैं so that we know how to construct such sentences. Starting with the first one where you have subject that followed by verb, then comes the direct object. And we know जब आपका direct object पहले होगा तो that there must be this must be followed by some preposition, and the two prepositions that we just looked at are for and to. It can be either, and then comes your indirect object. और दूसरा फार्मूला ये है कि अगर आपने डायरेक्ट को बाद में प्लेस करना है, इन दैट केस यू विल हैव अ सब्जेक्ट ऑफ अ सेंटेंस फॉलोड बाय वर्ब, then comes your indirect object, and when your indirect object is the first one, then you have no worry of carrying any prepositions regardless. So there is no preposition in this formula, and directly it followed by the direct object. And I'm sure not need to worry about telling you over and again that what is the direct and the indirect object. Now here comes important note that in the second rule, where your indirect object is before your direct object, there is no preposition exist, and we just looked at कि आप जब आपने indirect object को पहले place कर दिया है, then there is no question of keeping any preposition regardless. Now here we look at few examples. The first example is the director's secretary sent the manuscript to them last night. This was the first one. This is the direct object who first receives the action. Then comes the preposition, and the indirect object is them, and again them is referring to some animate ones, some humans, and then here comes your complement or the further sentence construction. Or in that case we have the direct object, preposition, and the indirect object. What if we have indirect before? In that case, the director's secretary sent them the manuscript last night. Now the verb sent is directly followed by the direct object, by the indirect object, which is them, and in that case there is no need of carrying any such preposition to or for that matter, and then the manuscript comes in. So in that case you have your indirect object them followed by the direct object, which is the manuscript. And we know by now that the direct object can be a thing or a human. And what about the incorrect way of writing such things? The director's secretary sent to them the manuscript last night. As we have spoken before कि जब आपने indirect object को पहले place किया है, तो in that case आपको there is no requirement of keeping any preposition before it. So there is no need of carrying such preposition. This is wrong. So rather you just write sent them the manuscript last night. Sent to them there is not the correct thing to write whatsoever. One important thing to note is if the direct object and the indirect object are both pronouns, the first rule is generally used. One important thing हमने अभी तक आपको डिस्कस किया कि there are two rules where you have first rule के मुताबिक आपने indirect को पहले आपने direct object को place किया, preposition को place किया, and then indirect object comes in. However, अगर आपके पास दोनों जो आपके objects हैं direct and indirect, they are both pronouns. In that case, it's preferable that you only use the first rule, which is direct object followed by preposition followed by indirect object. Again, अगर आपके दोनों objects pronouns हैं, तो you have to preferably use the first rule where you have a direct object, preposition, and then comes your indirect object. उसकी example देखते हैं. They gave, the verb gave. Again, this is from the list we just look at. They gave it to us. This is your indirect object. This is your direct object. This is your preposition, and this is your indirect object. So the incorrect thing will be they gave us it. Although we have just flipped the sequence of the objects, and we know कि gave आपका वो verb है जिसमें आपके पास object transformation की flexibility है. बट हमारे पास ये भी हमने रूल मालूम किया है कि जब आपके पास दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट्स प्रोनाउन हैं, सो इन दैट केस आपको प्रेफरेबल है कि आप फर्स्ट रूल फॉलो करें जिसमें आपने डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट फॉलोड बाय प्रेपोजिशन एंड देन कम योर इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. यहाँ पे आप as it नहीं कर सकते. दिस विल बी एब्सोल्युटली इनकरेक्ट सेंटेंस कंस्ट्रक्शन. अगेन जस्ट माइंडफुल अबाउट कि जब दोनों आपके ऑब्जेक्ट्स प्रोनाउन हैं तो आपने फिर फर्स्ट रूल को स्टिक करना है, आपने सेकंड रूल को स्टिक नहीं करना. लुक एट सम एडिशनल एग्जांपल्स टू अंडरस्टैंड द होल कॉन्सेप्ट फर्दर. The first example is John gave the essay to his teacher. Now we know कि जब आपके पास direct object पहले होगा तो this will be followed by a preposition and then indirect object that his teacher comes. Again for the repetition, आपका direct object can be a person or a thing and he is the one who first receive an action. And जो आपका जो indirect object है that must be an animate object which means someone living, and secondly is the one for whom and to whom something is done. So the essay was written for the teacher, so that's why it is the indirect object. और दूसरा तरीका ये है कि आपने जो verb gave है इसके साथ object transformation की flexibility है तो आप इसमें indirect object को पहले place कर दें. In that case आपका जो preposition है उसको skip कर दें and then directly comes your direct object which is John gave his teacher the essay. Second example, the little boy brought some flowers for his grandmother. Now some flowers, these are the direct object, and since we know it can be a thing or a person, this followed by preposition and then indirect object come, which has to be someone who is animate, someone who is living and for whom the action is performed. बार बार कहने से मकसद ये है कि आपको इसकी बार बार clarity हो जाए और memorize हो जाए. और since हमारा जो verb है brought, this is from the list of the verb, and here we have flexibility कि आप इसमें object transformation कर सकते हैं. So instead of this writing this way, you can bring your indirect object before your direct one. So in that case, just skip your preposition, which is for. So the sentence will be the little boy brought his grandmother some flowers. Few more examples. I fixes can never be a part of this. I fixed. Now, few more additional examples. I fixed a drink for Maria. A drink is your direct object. It can be a thing or a person. It is a thing here, followed by a preposition, and then a direct object, which is indirect object, which is an animate or human. So Maria is a human. She is an indirect object. And fix is from the list of this verb, जिसमें हमने आपको बताया था कि is not from the list actually. No, it's not from the list. Okay. Now here comes an additional few more examples. I fixed a drink for Maria. A drink is your either direct object followed by transformation followed by preposition and then indirect object, and you can flip this object position from direct to indirect. Now here comes indirect before. So I fixed Maria a drink. Then you just skip out or omit your preposition. Another example, he drew a picture for his mother. He drew a picture for his mother. A picture is your direct object followed by a preposition for, and then comes your indirect object, which is your mother, an animate human, and bring it to the first position. He drew his mother a picture. So just omit the preposition regardless of whatever the preposition may be. Okay. He lent his car to his brother. He lent his car to his brother. So this his car is actually the direct object, then followed by a preposition and then indirect object, his brother. And you can flip the position of your objects. Now bring your indirect object before your direct one. So he lent his brother a car, and at the same time आपने जो omit करना है वो preposition है, which is true. Another example, we owe several $1,000s to the bank. Now the several $1,000s is your direct object followed by preposition to, and then comes the bank. However, and you can flip the positions where we owe the bank several $1,000s. So now in that case you just omit your preposition and the bank is your indirect object comes before your direct object. Important thing to note is that the verb introduce and mention must use the preposition to. अभी तक हमने आपको list of verb भी बताई और prepositions भी बताया, but the two verbs which are very particular about the preposition, that which preposition comes after them is introduce and mention के बाद they must use the preposition to, and the transformation in that case is not possible. For introduce and the verb mention, आपका जो preposition है that is to, and the transformation is not possible. इसको इस example देख लेते हैं. I introduce John to Dr. Jackson. And yet makes sense, you can't introduce otherwise, you have to keep it that way. So the preposition is to, and there is no object transformation possible. Second example, I introduce Dr. Jackson to John. So in that case it's not that you are going to take out the preposition and transformation inflexibility here for these two, and so you can't flip it at anyways. Another example is he mentioned the party to me. He mentioned the party to me. So that's how you should be watchful about कि किन verbs के साथ आपकी preposition कौन सी है, और every verb is not flexible for such object transformation. So this was precisely all about आपका जो ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की डिटेल है. इस कॉन्सेप्ट की फर्दर क्लैरिटी के लिए हम एक एक्सरसाइज को गो थ्रू करेंगे. इट्स एन एक्सरसाइज ऑफ 10 क्वेश्चंस. इसमें आपको रीराइट करना है सेंटेंस को बाय प्लेसिंग द इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द वर्ब एंड एलिमिनेटिंग दी पोजिशन. अगैन आपने इसके अंदर इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट को वर्ब के फ़ौरन बाद लिखना है, एंड दिस इन दैट केस यू विल जस्ट ओमिट योर preposition एंड डायरेक्टली इसके बाद डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट आ जाएगा. सो आई होप you अंडरस्टैंड द होल कॉन्सेप्ट बाय नाउ, बट रादर जस्ट पॉज द वीडियो हेयर, ट्राई टू सॉल्व देम ऑल. इफ़ यू आर नॉट डन येट, फिर हम इसकी आंसर्स को भी गो थ्रू करेंगे. सो फॉर दोज who are done with the answers by now, we can straight jump into answer sheet. Starting with the first one, Mary showed the photographs to me. The direct object followed by preposition and the indirect object comes. So now हमने इसमें से omit करना है to preposition, और अपना जो indirect object है me उसको पहले place करना है. Mary showed me the photographs. That's how you have to make the sentence. Second question, I will send the books to you next week. Now in that case just omit the preposition to and bring the indirect object forward. I will send you the books next week. Question 3, my sister sent a game to my daughter for her birthday. Now you have to bring your indirect object before your verb, after your verb. My sister sent my daughter a game for her birthday. So you just omit this preposition to. Question 4 is he brought the telegram to her this morning. Now you have to omit this to from the sentence, this preposition, and bring her right after the verb. He brought her the telegram this morning. Question 5, the author gave an autographed copy of this book to his friend. Now you have to omit this preposition to. In that case, the author gave his friend an autographed copy of his book. Question 6, they wrote a letter to us. So you have to omit this to and you have to adjust the sequence. They wrote us a letter. So in that case, indirect comes right after verb and then followed by a direct object with no preposition in the middle. Question 7, Louis drew a lovely picture for his mother. Louis drew his mother a lovely picture. So you just omit the preposition and replaced the and have adjusted the placement of an indirect object, the mother. Question 8, she made a bookcase for her cousin. She made her cousin a bookcase. So you just omitted the preposition for. Now comes question 9, that teacher taught grammar to us last year. You have to omit the preposition to. In that case, that teacher taught us grammar last year. So this omit the preposition and you have to bring the indirect object right after your verb and then the direct object comes in. And the final question of the exercise, Mary handed the tray to her brother. Answer, Mary handed her brother the tray. So you just remove the preposition to and you bring your indirect object right after your verb and then comes your direct object. ओके हमने भी एक एक्सरसाइज की जिसमें हमने ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के अंदर प्लेसमेंट की इंडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट की और ओमिट किया हमने अपने प्रेपोजिशन को. नाउ वी हैव अनदर एक्सरसाइज ऑन आवर वे. इस एक्सरसाइज के अंदर हमारी जिम्मेदारी ये है कि हमें इन सेंटेंसेस के अंदर प्लेस करना है योर डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द वर्ब एंड इन दैट केस हमने सप्लाई करना है इट विद प्रेपोजिशन. अगेन आप अपने फॉर्मूला को रिकॉल करें कि जब आपके पास डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट पहले मौजूद होगा तो दैट मस्ट हैव अ प्रेपोजिशन देन इट विल बी फॉलोड बाय एन इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. सो आपने अब इन तमाम सेंटेंसेस के अंदर डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट को सर्च करके उसको वर्ब के बाद लिखना है और फिर उसके बाद आपने प्रेपोजिशन लिखना है एंड देन यू कम्स योर इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. सो जस्ट पॉज योर वीडियो हियर and get the answers of all these 10 questions. So once you are done with, then हम इसको further इसको solve करेंगे इसके इन तमाम questions को. So in case you are done with this exercise by now, we can directly jump into the answers. So starting off with the first one, John owes his friend the money. Now John owes the money to his friend. So we bring the direct object followed by preposition and then comes the indirect object which is his friend. Question 2, my friends sent me a bouquet of flowers while I was in the hospital. Now answer, my friends sent a bouquet of flowers to me while I was in the hospital. Question 3, the clerk sold us the records. Answer, the clerk sold the records to us. So you just bring your indirect object and have your preposition after your direct object records. Then comes question 4. They found him a good, inexpensive car. Answer, they found a good, inexpensive car for him. Question 5. Picasso painted his wife a beautiful portrait. Answer, Picasso painted a beautiful portrait for his wife. Here is our preposition insertion. I hope you are getting track of all those insertions. Question 6. My father read us the newspaper article. My father read the newspaper article to us. Here comes question 7. Pass me the salt, please. Pass the salt to me, please. Question 8. She bought him a red jacket. She bought a red jacket for him. Question 9. The girls couldn't wait to show us the bicycles. Answer, the girls couldn't wait to show the bicycles to us. Question 10. The construction crew built them a house in 4 weeks. Answer, the construction crew built a house for them in 4 weeks. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. ये टोफल सीरीज़ फॉर द बिगिनर का लेसन है. आज हम इसमें कॉमनली मिसयूज्ड वर्ड्स को इन डेप्थ स्टडी करेंगे. सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू लेट्स स्टार्ट द लिस्ट ऑफ दोज कॉमनली मिसयूज्ड वर्ड्स. Starting off with the first one, which is angel, a noun, which means a spiritual or a heavenly being. And the same spelling with a little twist, which is angle. It is also a noun, which means which is a figure formed by the two lines meeting at a common point, is called an angle. Then comes the three words, which is sight with C, it's a verb, which means a quote as an example. Sight again with S, which is a noun, which means a location, and the same pronunciation sight but with a different spelling is a noun, and it's a device used to assist, aim, view and see. Then come costume, which is a noun which means a clothing, and a custom with a little slight difference in arrangement of the words. In the spelling, custom is also a noun which means a practice that is traditionally followed by a particular group of people. So the one is costume and the other is custom. Then comes decent, which is adjective, which means a respectable or suitable. And the other is descent, which is a noun which means downward motion or lineage. Downward motion or lineage. Now comes the three words. One is dessert, which is a noun, which is a sweet dish. Then comes a desert with a single S, which is a hot, dry place. And then again comes a desert, which is an abandon, which means to leave something. It's an abandon. So the three words desert, desert, dry place, and then desert, which means to abandon. After deserting his post, the soldiers ran away from the camp. So it's about leaving something. Then comes the two words. One is later, which means which is an adverb, which means a time in the future of following a previous action. And the other is latter with the double T. It's an adjective. It's the last of the two things mentioned. The last one between the two mentioned things is known as latter. Now comes another one, which is loose with double O. Is its adjective. It means opposite of tight. And the other one is loose with single O. It's a verb. It means to be unable to find something opposite of when. It means something to find opposite of when. Two words. One is past, which is a verb, which means elapse, go by or beyond, or succeed. And the other one is past with the T. It's an adjective. It's a time or event before the present. It's a time before present. Then comes two words, which is peace, noun, and the other one is peace with I, which is also a noun. So the one peace with E means harmony or peace from war, tranquility. And the other one is peace with an I, which is also a noun, which means a part of a whole. So be watchful about when you're writing the word peace with an E and the one with an I. Then comes the two very well known misused words. One is principal with an A, both pronounced the same. The principal with an A means a director of an elementary or secondary school. And the principal with PLE, which is also a noun, is actually a fundamental rule or adherence to such a rule. So principal with an A is a noun, which is for the elementary school director, and the principal with PLE instead is also a noun. It's actually a fundamental rule or adherence to such a rule. Now here comes the three more words which are commonly misused. One is quiet with QUIET. It's an adjective. It means a secret without noise. And then comes the same quiet with a slight difference in the spelling. It's an adverb. It means completely, somewhat or the other. And then comes the quit with no E whatsoever. It's a verb which means to stop, to halt something. There we have two more words, more commonly misused words. One is called stationary with NARY. It's an adjective which means non-movable. And the other one is stationary, which is the same pronunciation pretty much with a slight difference in the spelling with E after N instead of an A. And this is a noun. And that means actually special writing paper. It's a special writing paper thing. It's stationary and the one is stationary. So one is about the non-movable, static one, and the other is something which is writing paper. Now comes the two more commonly misused words. Both sounds the same. One is then with an A, which is a conjunction, means used in unequal comparisons. One is bigger than the other, kind of then. And the other one is sound the same then, but with an E, it's an adverb instead, and it is a time following a previously mentioned time. It's a time following a previously mentioned time. There we have three words commonly misused. One is there with THEIR. This is an adjective. It's a plural possessive adjective. It's a plural possessive adjective. Then comes they are. That's how it sounds, but it's actually pronoun plus verb. The R is contracted here. So it's a contraction of they are. The third one is there, which is an adverb. And it's a location away from here used with the verb be to indicate the existence. Then we have three more words commonly misused. One is to, which is a preposition. It means towards, until, or as far as. The second word is to with W. It's a noun with adjective. It's a numbering following one. It's a number following one. Then the T with double O, to, it's an adverb, and it means excessively or also. So be watchful about when you're writing to is a single O and the one with the double O. Then comes two more words, which is weather, which is a noun, and it means atmospheric conditions. The weather with no H after W is a noun, which means atmospheric conditions. However, the weather with H and with no A, as you can see on your screen, it's actually a conjunction, and it means an if or indicates a choice, whether this or the other, whether here or somewhat other place. So this weather with H is actually a conjunction, and the weather with WEA is a noun, which means atmospheric conditions. So be watchful about, because these all confusing words have pretty much the same pronunciation, but a slight difference in their spellings and with loads of difference in their meanings together, regardless. There we have two more words on your screen. One is whose, WHOSE, which is a pronoun. It's a possessive relative pronoun or adjective. On the flip, whose with apostrophe S is actually a relative pronoun with a verb. It's actually the contraction of who with S or who with has. So who is or who has can be written like this, but it's when it's being spoken in a speech, in the conversation, it's known as whose. But the two whose have the different meanings altogether. There comes the last two words on your screen. One is your. It's an adjective. It's actually the possessive of you, and we have a lot of series, whole good of lesson about the pronoun types. So this is the possessive of you. And on the flip, the your, which is also sounds like your, is actually the pronoun with a verb, and it's actually the contraction of you are. You are. So this is all about the commonly misused words. I hope this all makes sense by now. For the greater clarity, we'll dive into the exercise. It's an exercise of 20 questions. इसमें आपको हर sentence में parentheses में दो options given हैं for of the commonly misused words in your parentheses. So complete the meaning of the sentence, find the correct word, whatever make the right sense in the sentence, because we commonly misuse these words. So we are given in every sentence the two misused words in the parentheses. You have to pick one. So just pause your video here, find the right answer out of these 10 questions. Then I will flip to the other 10 questions, and then finally we'll start off with the answers. 10 more questions on your screen, so just pause your video here and find the right answer from these parentheses, and then we'll start the answers. So for those who are done with the questions of an exercise by now, we'll start off with the answers now. The first question was, a beautiful angel adorned their Christmas tree. It's not an angle, it's an angel instead. So the green highlighted one are the right correct answers. Question 2, I have your notes here, but I cannot find mine. It's about the possession for the notes. It's not about it's not the pronoun with the verb. Then third question, the rescuers were a welcome sight for those trapped on the snow-covered mountains. It's for the sight, it's not for the other two. Question 4, who's supposed to supply the refreshments for tonight's meeting, or who is supposed to supply the refreshments for tonight's meeting? It's actually contraction of who with is. Question 5, it's a custom in the United States to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. It's not a costume, it's a traditional practice. Then comes question 6, whether we drive or fly depends on the length of our vacation. It's not the weather of atmospheric conditions, it's if. Question 7, Pasquale is of French descent, but his cousin is English. It's not about descent, it's about their descent. Question 8 is Dr. Hippel will not be coming to the meeting because he has too many papers to grade. One is preposition to, and the other is about excessive amount of papers to be graded. Question 9, although my mother never eats dessert. It's not about the desert, it's about the dessert, the sweet dish. I prefer something sweet. Question 10. I guess they are not interested because we have not heard from them. So it's actually the contraction of they are. In March, teach in kindergarten. The letter works in Putnam. It means we are referring to March. Question 12. Isaac Asimov's science books are more easily understood than most scientists. So it's about the comparison of Isaac Asimov's books with the rest of the books available. Question 13. The fender on Scene's bike came loose and had to be tightened. So it's the opposite of the tight, which is loose and not loose. Question 14 is nobody had any stationery, so we had to use notebook paper to write the letter. It's not about the stationery static, it's about the stationery, the noun, the paperwork, a special paper of writing. Question 15, the hikers had passed many hours waiting to be rescued. It's something passed by. It's nothing about the past from the present. Now comes question 16. Lisa had to quit eating apples after the orthodontist put braces on her teeth. So it's about quitting eating apples. So it's about quit. It's not quite, and neither this one. Question 17. After any war, the world desires a lasting peace. So this is about tranquility. It's not about this peace with an I, which means a part of a whole. Question 18 is Albert Einstein expressed his principle of relativity. This is a noun which is for the director of an elementary school, but this means the fundamental rule. Question 19, Marcia was quite tired after the long walk to class. So this is about neither of these two, it's about excessively tired. Or final question of the exercise, you must remember to cite your reference when you write a paper. So this is about the cite with the C. So I hope this all makes sense by now. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये टोफल सीरीज़ फॉर द बिगनर का लेसन है। आज हम इसमें स्टडी करेंगे एडवर्बियल्स एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ अ सेंटेंस। व्हाट इफ़ यू प्लेस योर एडवर्बियल्स एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ योर सेंटेंस। तो ऐसे में आपकी सेंटेंस कंस्ट्रक्शन और उसकी ग्रामर रूल्स को हम इन डेप्थ डायसेक्ट करेंगे। सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू लेट्स स्टार्ट द लेसन। नाउ इट इज़ समटाइम्स पॉसिबल to place your adverbials at the beginning of a sentence. Yes, we know. This indicates a stronger emphasis on the action than when the adverbials is in its normal position. Again, अगर आपने अपने किसी action के बारे में कोई emphasis show करना है, so in that case आप अपने adverbials को अपनी normal middle sentence position से उठाएं, and you can bring it to the in the beginning of the sentence, and it will show more emphasis and more stress on whatever you are being about to say. So in that case you can make it. So हम study करेंगे हम इसको इस तरीके से maneuvering करें किस तरीके से. If the adverbial appears at the beginning of a sentence, the grammar of the sentence is somewhat different. Now, in case अगर आप adverbials को middle sentence में से उठाकर उसकी position को start में कर रहे हैं, तो it's not just कि आपने इससे stress दे देंगे and that will be enough. You have to be watchful about कि आप उसकी grammar conditions को भी तमाम meet करें. So अब हम इसकी grammar को dissect करते हैं. Now, for example, John hardly remembers the accident that took his sister's life. Here we know the hardly is your adverb and it's at the very normal position of the sentence, in the normal middle sentence position. Now, to emphasize, you can do like hardly does John remember the accident that took his sister's life. Now, bringing the adverbial at the beginning of the sentence, you are giving more stress to whatever you were saying at the beginning, and it was not more stressful. So, give more emphasis on what you're saying. You can bring your adverbial at the beginning of the sentence, but it's not just enough. You have to be watchful about your whole grammar. In that case, अगर आपने hardly, rarely, seldom, never, only, and if you write such things in the beginning of the sentence, adverbials to give emphasis on your speech or your work, or the words to be precise, so it has to be followed by the auxiliary, which again is going to meet the rest of the sentence. It should agree with the rest of the sentence grammar. Here we inserted does. This followed by the subject and the verb and the rest of the sentence construction. So again, अगर आप इस sentence में भी देखिए, हमने hardly को जब अपने sentence के begin में start में place किया है, तो it followed by the auxiliary which agree with the rest of the sentence tense, and then comes your subject, then comes your verb, remember, and then the rest of the sentence construction. So again, just pause your video here and make a note कि जब आपने अपने adverbials को sentence के start में लिखना है, तो they should be followed by the auxiliaries, then the subject and the verb should come afterwards. Here are a few examples to understand the whole idea. Never have so many people been unemployed as today. अगर ये इसमें आपने adverb को पहले place किया है, followed by auxiliary as stated before, then comes the subject, so many people, and then verb been, and then rest of the sentence construction. What if you have the adverb in the middle? So many people have never been unemployed as today. So here your adverb never is in the middle, but it does not give you as stressed condition or emphasis on the whole idea that is being stressed upon when you bring out the adverb at the beginning of the sentence. So जब आपने adverb को place करना है for more emphasis, so you have to be watchful about कि आपने उसकी auxiliary को भी rightly place करना है. Here the other example, hardly had he fallen asleep when he began to dream of faraway lands. Hardly is adverbial followed by the head, which is auxiliary. He is the subject of the sentence followed by verb fallen and the rest of the sentence construction. What if you have this hardly in the middle of the sentence? Then he sounds like he had hardly fallen asleep when he began to dream. So again the rest of the sentence, of course, again to have more emphasis on his whatever the attitude or things he does, the practices, you just bring out the hardly in the beginning and you have more stressed on his actions. So for more actions, for more emphasis, you just bring out the adverbial at the beginning and followed by the auxiliaries. Another example, rarely have we seen such an effective actor as he has proven himself to be. Here comes rarely adverb followed by have, which is an auxiliary. Then comes your we, which is subject of the sentence, the seen is the verb, and the rest of the sentence construction. What if we bring the rarely in the middle? We have rarely seen such an effective actor as he has proven himself to be. So again, to have more emphasis, it sounds more emphasized, more stressed when you bring out the adverbial. बार बार रिपीट करने से मकसूद आपका ये कि इसको आपको पूरा आइडिया कि अच्छे से इनग्रेव्ड हो जाए आपके in your heads. Then comes another example which says, seldom does class let out early. Seldom adverb followed by does auxiliary. Class is the subject, let is your verb. Class seldom lets out early. So again, when you have this normal seldom in the middle of the sentence and then when you bring it to the in the beginning of the sentence. Only by hard work will we be able to accomplish this great task. Bring out this adverb at the beginning followed by the auxiliary will. We is the subject and be is the verb. What if we have this in the middle? We will be able to accomplish this great task only by hard work. So again, for more emphasis, you bring out the adverb in the beginning and then rest of the sentence construction. So this was all about adverbials at the beginning of a sentence and then how do you have to adjust with all the grammars, considering आपका auxiliary कहाँ होगा, then followed by subject and verb. For the re-emphasis of the whole concept, हम इस exercise को follow करेंगे. ये exercise है 10 questions की. Change each of the following sentence so that the adverbial is at the beginning of the sentence. Here you have to identify the adverb, bring out to at the beginning, and then according to the rest of the sentence tense, adjust the auxiliary and place the subject followed by verb and the rest of the sentence construction. So I would suggest कि आप अपनी video को pause करें and answer each of the sentence. This will reinforce the whole concept in your head. At least in the beginning, just mark out your adverbials, bring them out in the beginning and find what auxiliary will suit the best, and then we'll construct the sentence together. So for those who are done with an exercise by now, we can start off with answers. Here comes the answer, starting off with the first one. George rarely forgets to do his homework. George is the subject, rarely is adverbial, forget is the verb, and since it is simple present tense, which we can see with the forgets, and then rest of the sentence. So start making up. Bring out the rarely, which is adverbial, followed by an auxiliary does because it's a simple present tense, and then subject is George, forget is your verb, and the rest of the sentence. Rarely does George forget to do his homework. Now comes question 2. Jane can finish this work only by staying up all night. Bring out the adverbial only by staying up all night, followed by auxiliary can. Jane is the subject, finish is the verb, and then this work. So sentence will be only by staying up all night can Jane finish this work. Now question 3. Henry had hardly started working when he realized that he needed to go to the library. Bring out the hardly, followed by auxiliary. Henry is the subject, started is the verb, and then rest of the sentence. Just follow first आपने चार चीजों को adjust करना and then paste the rest of the sentence. Hardly had Henry started working when he realized that he needed to go to the library. Then comes question 4. We have never heard so moving a rendition as this one. Never have we heard. Never adverbial, have auxiliary, we subject, heard is your verb. Moving a rendition as this one. Question 5. Maria seldom missed a football game when she was in the United States. Bring out the seldom. This is the past, so bring out the auxiliary did. Maria is the subject, miss is the verb. So seldom did Maria miss a football game when she was in the United States. Question 6. We will be able to buy the car only with a bank loan. Only with a bank loan do we able to buy the car. This being the adverbial followed by do as your auxiliary. We is the subject, able is the verb. This led us to question 7. We rarely watch television during the week. This is a simple present tense. Bring out the rarely adverb. Do is your auxiliary because it's for the we plural subject, followed by the subject we, then the verb watch comes. So the sentence sounds like rarely do we watch television during the week. Question 8. He has never played a better game than he has today. Never has he played. Never is your adverbial, has is your auxiliary, he is the subject, played is the verb, and the rest of the sentence. So the sentence sounds like never has he played a better game than he has today. Question 9. This professor seldom let his students leave class early. Seldom is adverbial followed by auxiliary does. This professor is the subject, let is the verb. So the sentence sounds like seldom does this professor let his students leave class early. Final question of the exercise. Jennifer had hardly entered the room when she felt the presence of another person. Bring out the adverbial hardly followed by the auxiliary had. Subject Jennifer, verb entered. So the sentence will be hardly had Jennifer entered the room when she felt the presence of another person. Assalamu alaikum. ये lesson है from the TOEFL series for the beginners. आज हम इसमें participles as adjectives study करेंगे. So without further ado, let's start the lesson. Now very often when there is no regular adjective form for a verb, the present or a past participle of the verb can be used as an adjective. Sometimes आपके पास ये भी condition होती है कि आपके पास कोई regular adjective form of verb नहीं होती. In that case आपने एक present या past participle को use करना है of the verb that will be used as an adjective in that case. उसकी example देखते हैं. Now however it is sometimes difficult for the foreign students to decide whether to use a present participle or a past participle or verb in the ing form which is a third verb form as an adjective. Now deciding कि आपने present लेना है, past लेना है in continuous में या आपने verb की third form लेनी है, ये decide करना is a bit difficult in order to use such things as an adjective. So उसको हम study करेंगे कैसे करना है. Now the present participle यानी कि present in continuous tense is used as an adjective when noun it modifies, performs or is responsible for the action. अगर आपका जिस action को आप refer कर रहे हैं as an adjective is the one responsible for the action, is the doer of the work, ऐसे में आपने present continuous को use करना है अपने adjective के तौर पे. Again, अगर आपने present continuous के verb को use करना है as an adjective तो आपने उस noun के साथ use करना है जो noun actually responsible है for the action, who is the doer in the verb in the sentence. Now further, the verb is actually is usually intransitive. By now we know intransitive the verb is the one who does not take an object, and the verb form of the sentence is the progressive which is continuous aspect. In that case आपका जो verb है वो intransitive होगा यानी कि वो होगा जो आपका complement नहीं लेगा और जो verb form होगी of the sentence that is in the continuous aspect, in the progressive aspect. For example, the crying baby woke Mr. Binion. अब आपका जो crying baby है आपने इसमें baby was crying and it actually was the one who woke Mr. Binion. So आपका baby is responsible, he is doing the action. So the crying baby woke Mr. Binion. So यहाँ पर आपने जो crying है that is the baby. The purring kitten snuggled close to the fireplace. The kitten was purring actually. So आपने इस purring को आपने kitten के साथ mention किया है because आपका जो kitten है that is responsible for the action. He is actually the doer. The blooming flowers in the meadow created a rainbow of colors. Now this blooming, this present continuous हमने use किया है अपने flowers के साथ because they are the one who is doing the action. So they are responsible for it. So that's why we write the present continuous verb with this one who is doing, who is the action, the doer is the flowers. Now comes the past participle is used as an adjective when the noun it modifies to is the receiver of an action. So far हमने example देखी अपने present continuous को आपने use किया as a participle modifier for a noun who was responsible for doing an action, who was a doer. However, जब आपने past participle को as an adjective use करना है, तो ऐसे में आपका जो noun होगा, which this past participle as adjective is referring to, is modifying to, is the one who is receiving an action, is not the one who is doing an action. The sentence from which this adjective comes from is generally in the passive aspect. अब हम इसको further study करते हैं. For example, the sorted mail was delivered to the offices before noun. Now आपने past participle use किया, which is sorted. Mail is the one who is receiving an action. Who is delivering them? Somebody is delivering them to the office. So the mail is being received. So these are the passive one. They are not doing an action. तो इसके साथ आपने past participle को as adjective use किया है. The mail had been sorted. Somebody sorted them. So they are the receiver of the action. Frozen food is often easier to prepare than the fresh food. Again, इसमें आपने past participle use किया है. Food has been frozen by someone. So food is being received. He is not doing an action. He is receiver of an action. The imprisoned men were unhappy with their living conditions. The men had been imprisoned. So he is the one who is receiving an action. तो इसलिए आपने यहाँ पे past participle को as an adjective के तौर पे use किया with a noun who is receiving an action. Other verbs such as interest, bore, excite and frighten, they're all even more difficult to comprehend. The rule is basically the same as that given above. The verb ing form is used when the noun causes action and the verb ed form is used when the noun receives the action. In all these verbs, conditions even more difficult to understand. But one thing which is important to understand कि आपने verb को ing form में use करना है जब आपके पास noun action perform कर रहा है, is the doer. और verb ed form में या past form में लिखना है जब आपका जो action है वो receive हो रहा है by the noun, the one he is receiving, right? So अब इसको देखते हैं. The boring professor put the students to sleep. The professor is the one who is causing the action. So आपने ing के साथ अपना verb लिख दिया है. Now the boring lecture put the students to sleep. Now the lecture is responsible. So the boring comes, the ing form comes with the lecture. The bored students went to sleep during the boring lecture. Now a student are the one who is receiving the action. So the bored comes with the student who are receiving the action. Second form comes with the student because students are not performing action. They are the receivers. Another example, the child saw a frightening movie. Movie is the one who is causing the fright. So the frightening comes with the movie, the continuous verb form. Now the frightened child began to cry. The child was frightened by the movie. So child is the receiver of an action. So the frightened comes with the child. So now you should know that आपने जो adjective के तौर पे use करना है participles को. So आपका जो crux of the आपका जो सारी story का crux है वो ये है कि continuous ing comes with a noun who is performing an action. And the verb ed forms or participle past comes when आपका जो noun है that is receiving an action. This is about the participial as adjectives. So now to understand the whole concept हम इसके exercise को go through करेंगे. This is an exercise of 10 questions जिसमें आपके पास correct form of participle को use करना है as adjective in the following sentences. Whether it is ing or whether it's broken or ed past form, depending कि आपके पास आपका जो noun है वो action perform कर रहा है या वो action receive कर रहा है. So these are the 6 questions. 4 more questions on your screen here. There you have total questions, 20 questions on your screen. So after you are done with all these 20 questions, deciding कि आपने ing form लेना है कि ed form या third form of verb लेना है, depending आपका noun की conditions क्या है, फिर हम इसके answers देखेंगे. So these are the 20 questions all together on your screen. So if you are done with the questions, I hope on every question slide you just pause your video and answer the right question, and then we will start off with the answers. So here the answers begin. Starting with the first one. The broken dishes lay on the floor. Somebody break them, so dishes are the one who receive action. So here comes the broken here. Second question, the trembling children were given a blanket for warmth. Who is trembling? The children themselves. So they are the act performers, they are the action doers. So the ing verb form comes here as a participle adjective. Question 3, the compassionate friends tried to console the crying children. Since यहाँ पे children are the performing the action, they are the doers, so आपके पास जो verb है वो ing form में crying में आएगा, which is again serving as an adjective here. Question 4, the interesting tennis match caused a great deal of excitement. Tennis match is the one who is causing excitement, he is the action, he is the doer. तो आपके पास जो verb as an adjective के तौर पे serve करेगा, it will be in the ing form interesting. Question 5. When James noticed the burning building, he notified the fire department immediately. The burning building is the burning, he is the action, he is the one who is doing an action, not receiving. So यहाँ पे आपके जो पास जो participle होगा use होगा as adjective will be in the ing form burning. Question 6. The excited passengers jumped into the lifeboats when notified that the ship was sinking. Somebody excited the passengers. They received the action. They received the excitement. The passenger received the excitement, so they are the receivers. इसलिए यहाँ पे आपके पास जो adjective के तौर पे participle आएगा, that will be in the ed form, which is excited. Now comes question 7. The smiling Mona Lisa is on display in the Louvre in Paris. So the Mona Lisa is smiling herself. She is the action. She is performing an action. So as a result, the adjective you receive करेगी will be in the ing form, which is the smiling. Question 8. The wind made such frightening noises that the children ran to their parents' room. Now wind is the one who is responsible for the action. He is causing the action. So इसके साथ जो adjective आएगा participle, that will be in the ing form, which is frightening. Question 9. The frightened hostages only wanted to be left alone. Somebody frightened the hostages, so they are the one who is receiving the fright. As a result, इसके साथ जो adjective के तौर पे participle आएगा, that will be in the ed form, which is frightened. Question 10. We saw the advancing army form across the town. Army is advancing. They are the actions doers. They are the performing. They are the active actions in the sentence. So the adjective will be in the ing form, which is advancing. Question 11. Mr. Harris's approving smile let us know that our speeches were well done. The smile is given by the Harris. He is the action doer, so the verb in the participle form will be ing format, which is approving. Question 12. Our representative is presented the approved plan to the public. Somebody approved the plan already, so we have gotten we are the receivers. So the adjective, the plan is approved by someone, so it is going to be a receiver, which is approved, ed form. Now comes question 13. The blowing wind of the hurricane damaged the waterfront property. Wind is the one who is performing the action, the doer. So इसके साथ जो participle adjective आएगा, that will be in the ing form, which is blowing. Question 14. We were going to see the movie at the Center Theatre, but our friends told us it was a boring movie. Since movie is responsible for causing the bore, so boredom, it is actually the active action, it is the doer. So इसके साथ जो adjective participle आएगा, that will be in the ing form, which is boring. Question 15. Mary's cleaning service comes every Wednesday. Mary is performing an action. She is the direct person performing action. So इसके साथ जो adjective आएगा will be in the ing form, which is cleaning. Question 16. The clean shoes were placed in the sun to dry. Somebody cleaned it, so shoes received the action. They are the receivers, so इसके साथ जो adjective आएगा participle, that will be in the ed form, which is cleaned. Question 17. We could not open the locked door without a key. Somebody locked the door, so the door received the action. Being receiver, इसके साथ जो adjective participle आएगा, that will be in the ed form, which is locked. Question 18. As we entered the crowded room, I noticed my cousins. The room was crowded by the people, so room was the receiver of an action of being crowded by people. So इसके साथ जो आपका adjective participle आएगा, that will be in the ed form, which is crowded. I'm just repeating every sentence of every question, because by the time you're done with 20 questions, you should know कि receiver के साथ आपने क्या लगाना है और आपने action who actually doing the doers उसके साथ कौन सा participle लगाना है. Question 19. Dr. Jameson told my brother to elevate his aching foot. Last question of the exercise. The police towed away parked cars because they were blocking the entrance. So again, the cars were parked by someone. The cars received the action of parking by some drivers. So as a result, इसके साथ जो adjective participle आएगा will be in the ed form, which is parked and not parking. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. ये टोफल सीरीज़ है फॉर द बिगनर्स. आज के लेसन में हम कॉमन कॉम्बिनेशंस विद prepositions पढ़ेंगे. सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू, लेट्स स्टार्ट द लेसन. Many nouns, verbs and adjectives are generally followed by specific prepositions. And we know all them. इससे पहले हमारी एक पूरी सीरीज़ है, टॉपिक है लेसन, जिसमें हमने preposition को बड़ा in depth स्टडी किया है. Here comes the combinations with prepositions. It can be with noun, it can be with verbs and adjectives. However, there are many exceptions to any rule listing certain words which must appear with certain prepositions. So this is something that one must learn from constant contact with and attention to the elements of a new language. Now आपने randomly किसी भी noun या verb या adjective combination नहीं है drive करना from with prepositions. There has to be a certain strict rules to be aware of. So अब हम start करते हैं अपना lesson with nouns with preposition in combination. So there are some list of nouns with prepositions which is equivalent of, number of, example of, quality of, reason for, sample of, exception to, pair of, sample of, possibility of. So these are all the nouns with prepositions. Now आपने गौर करें तो इसमें of भी हमारे पास मौजूद है, इसमें for भी है, to भी है. So important thing to notice is that there are some nouns that can be followed by either of and for. उनको हम देख लेते हैं. The few mentioned in the bottom of the slide, they are the nouns जिनको हम of और for दोनों के साथ follow कर सकते हैं as prepositions. So they sounds like fear of or fear for. इसी तरीके से method of, method for, hatred of, hatred for, need of and need for. अब हम इसको example में use करके देखते हैं. I have yet to discover. Now अब हम कुछ examples को study करते हैं. The quality of this photograph is poor. I saw a sample of her work and was quite impressed. They have yet to discover a new method of or method for analyzing this information. अभी हमने list में study किया था वो noun जिनके साथ of और for को interchangeably use किया जा सकता है and has no reason, no worry of the change in the meanings. Now we'll start off with the verbs with preposition in combination. So starting off with the first one, which is like decide on. Decide on means to choose. Then detract from. Detract from means to reduce the strength, value or importance of something. I'm sure every time I'm changing the slide, you just make note of all these information. Then comes emerge from. It means become apparent or prominent. Then we have participate in. It means take part in an action or endeavor. Then we have confide in. Confide in means to tell personal and private things to someone. Then we have plan on, which means expect something or intend to do something. Then we have engaged in. It means to do something. To do something. Then we have pay for, which means give someone money that is due for work done. Then escape from, which means break free from confinement or control. Then remove from, take something away or off from the position occupied. Again, this is all the list of verbs with preposition in combinations. Then we have depend on, which means to be determined or decided by something. To be determined or decided by something. Then we have approve of, which means to agree with or support someone or something. Then succeed in means to achieve the desired aim or result. Then mingle with means mix or cause to mix together. Mix or cause to mix together. Rely on means to need someone or something for support or help. This was all about the verb with prepositions. One important thing to notice is that don't confuse the to, of and infinitive with to as a preposition. इसको हम पहले भी study कर चुके हैं infinitive को. तो आपको just you have to remind of the fact कि जब आपने to with preposition, to as preposition और to as infinitive, these are two things together, all together different things. उसको हम further study भी करते हैं. Some of these verbs can be followed by either by an infinitive or by a preposition with gerund. For example, we have decided to stay in the United States for several more weeks. Now here we have the word decided is followed by to stay. इसी तरीके से we have decided on staying in the United States for several more weeks. Now to stay is an infinitive. However, decided on, this is a preposition which is followed by the verb in the gerund form. इससे पहले हम verb को बहुत study in depth कर चुके हैं कि gerund के साथ अपने किस तरीके से play करना है. तो I would suggest कि आप उसको भी in depth study करें, उस lesson को भी. Now comes attending this seminar is similar to working in a laboratory. To working in a laboratory. Few more examples about verb and prepositions in combination. Here examples. 3 dangerous criminals escaped from prison yesterday. Now here is escaped is a verb and from is a preposition. You can depend on Harry if you want the job done correctly. Another example, he is going to participate in the demonstration next week. This was all about the verb and prepositions. Now here comes adjectives with preposition and combinations. So the list is on your screen, which says satisfied with, divorced from, guilty of, interested in, fond of, isolated from, afraid of, accustomed to, amenable to, inferior to, similar to, and different from. So these are all the list of adjectives with preposition in combination. अब हम इसके examples देखते हैं. William is quite fond of cooking Oriental food. Then my employer says she is not satisfied with my performance. Next, Margaret is afraid of large dogs. One more important thing to notice is that keep in mind that other prepositions may be used with these words in different contexts too. So you should be mindful about it. Watch for your prepositions when you read so that you can develop a feel for their use. Feel for the use of these prepositions in combinations with either noun, with verb or with adjectives. So this was all about the commonly used combinations of prepositions with nouns, with verbs and with adjectives. These are all meant to increase your vocabulary power. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, like and share with your friends and family. Thanks for watching.